If you're over 65, this message might be one of the most crucial you'll hear today. Each morning, countless older adults across the United States wake up and begin their routines with actions that seem harmless. However, these seemingly minor habits can quietly increase the risk of stroke. Stroke remains the fifth leading cause of death in the US and is a primary cause of long-term disability among seniors. What many don't realize is that numerous strokes occur in the early hours of the day, shortly after waking up. The real danger isn't aging itself, but what you do in those first 30 minutes of your morning. Skipping breakfast, drinking coffee too soon, or immediately checking your phone can create a perfect storm for your heart, brain, and blood pressure. In today's discussion, we'll uncover 5 common morning habits that may increase stroke risk after age 65. And the most dangerous habit is one that nearly everyone does without even thinking. Be sure to read all the way through. It could make a life-saving difference. And if you want more insights on protecting your health, be sure to like and subscribe. It's time to take charge of your health, starting tomorrow morning. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you find this information helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can improve the content for you. 1. Skipping breakfast or eating too late. For many older adults, skipping breakfast might seem like a harmless habit. Perhaps it's due to a reduced appetite in the morning, or maybe it's just something you've done for years without issue. But what if this small choice, delaying your first meal, was quietly putting your life at risk? When we sleep, our bodies rest, but they also fast. That means your heart, brain, and entire system have gone without fuel for 8 to 10 hours. When you open your eyes in the morning, every cell in your body is waiting for nourishment to stabilize your blood sugar, restore energy, and gently wake your cardiovascular system. If you skip breakfast, your body doesn't calmly wait. It adapts in ways that are far from gentle. It releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, not because you're anxious, but because your system is starving. These hormones are your body's alarm bells, trying to keep you alert and functioning despite the lack of fuel. But in doing so, they constrict your blood vessels, elevate your blood pressure, and thicken your blood. For someone over 65, especially with pre-existing hypertension or fragile arteries, this chemical cascade becomes dangerous. The consequences might not be immediate. You may feel just fine, or even energized, after skipping breakfast. But beneath the surface, your heart is working harder than it should. Your blood becomes slower, stickier, more prone to clot. And it only takes one small clot, one narrowed artery, one elevated surge in pressure for a stroke to occur. That's the cruel part. It doesn't warn you, it just happens. Studies have consistently shown that those who regularly skip breakfast are at higher risk for stroke, heart attack, high cholesterol, and metabolic issues. Yet, many continue the habit because it feels like no big deal. But for seniors, especially, it is a big deal. This is the time in life when circulation needs to be smooth, blood pressure needs to be calm, and your organs need steady support every morning. The good news? You don't need a big breakfast buffet or a full-course meal. Even something simple, like a banana, a slice of whole grain toast with almond butter, or a few soaked walnuts, can give your body the fuel it's waiting for. The goal isn't indulgence, it's protection. Giving your body nourishment early in the day sends a message to your heart and brain. I'm looking out for you. It brings hormones back to balance, regulates blood sugar, and creates a calm, steady start that protects your health, not just today, but over time. So many people wait to change until after something bad happens. But stroke prevention isn't about reacting. It's about preparing in the smallest of ways. Sometimes, it starts with that first bite, or deciding whether to take one at all. So tomorrow, when you open your eyes, ask yourself, will I care for my body today, or ignore its needs again? It's a small question, but the consequences can be life-changing. And while we're talking about habits that feel small but carry real risk, there's one more that many people do every morning without even realizing the stress it adds. In fact, you might already be doing it as you read this. Ready to find out what it is? Let's move to the next point. And if you're still with me, finding value in this conversation, go ahead and type number 1 in the comments so I know you're here. 2. Checking your phone or watching the news first thing. It's become automatic. The phone lights up on your nightstand, and your hand reaches for it. Maybe you're just looking to check the time, skim messages, or catch up on the news. Or maybe you flip on the TV and let the morning headlines run in the background. But what feels like a harmless way to wake up might actually be flooding your system with stress before you even leave bed. Here's why. When you first wake up, your body is going through a delicate process of transition. Your blood pressure begins to rise. Your heartbeat quickens. Your brain starts taking in new information after hours of deep rest. Everything is adjusting. Slowly, carefully. Now imagine, in the middle of this delicate reset, you feed your brain a flood of emails, bad news, shocking headlines, or emotionally charged images. That sudden jolt kicks your nervous system into high alert. Your body releases cortisol, the hormone responsible for stress. Your heart rate spikes. Your blood vessels narrow. And your blood thickens slightly as if preparing for an emergency. Except, there is no emergency. Only a screen and a flood of input that your body misinterprets as threat. For someone over 65, especially those with heart or blood pressure concerns, this hidden stress can do real damage over time. You might not feel anything in the moment. There's no chest pain, no warning. But day after day, this ritual wears you down. Mentally, emotionally, and physically. It creates a state of tension that becomes your new normal, until the day your body can't take the pressure anymore. But here's the good news. This is one of the easiest habits to change. And the relief it brings can be immediate. Giving your mind and body a calmer beginning is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself. When you resist the urge to grab your phone right away, you allow space for peace. Instead of stress hormones flooding your system, your body begins the day producing serotonin, the hormone that supports mood and emotional balance. Your heart stays steady. Your blood vessels remain relaxed. Blood flows freely to the brain, giving you energy and clarity without the cost of panic. And here's the beautiful part. It doesn't take much to feel the difference. Tomorrow morning, instead of scrolling or flipping on the news, try a different rhythm. Sit up slowly. Take a few long, deep breaths. Let a bit of natural light come in. Drink a glass of water. Allow your brain to wake up with care, not chaos. You might be surprised at how centered those first few minutes can feel, and how the benefits last long into your day. Because how you begin your morning influences everything that comes after. And speaking of habits that feel comforting but can carry hidden risks, there's another morning mistake we need to talk about. One that feels warm and familiar, almost sacred, but quietly increases stress on your heart. You may even be doing it every day without realizing how much it's costing you. Let's move on to number 3. 3. Drinking coffee or tea before water. For many older adults, a warm cup of coffee or tea is the true start of the day. It's a ritual, a comfort, a quiet moment that feels earned. But what if this beloved habit, done before anything else, is placing added strain on your heart and circulation? After sleeping through the night, your body wakes up mildly dehydrated. You haven't had water in 7 or 8 hours. Your blood is thicker. Your tissues are dry. Your brain is awake, but operating at reduced hydration levels. And if the first thing you give your body is caffeine, especially without food or water first, you're not rehydrating. You're draining even more. Caffeine is a mild diuretic. It signals your kidneys to release fluids. So that hot beverage, though comforting, can pull more water out of an already dry system. To make things worse, caffeine also tightens your blood vessels and raises blood pressure. That's a lot to ask of a heart that's just waking up. Imagine starting your car on a cold morning and immediately flooring the gas. Sooner or later, something wears out. What you feel may seem like alertness, but often, it's just adrenaline. Meanwhile, the hidden toll continues. Thicker blood, elevated tension, and higher risk for a clot to form. And that's all it takes. One small clot, in the wrong place, at the wrong moment. The result could be devastating. A stroke that affects your speech, mobility, or memory. All from a habit that felt safe. But here's the good news. You don't need to stop enjoying your coffee or tea. You just need to delay it. Start your day with a tall glass of water first, room temperature or warm, if that feels better. Add lemon juice or a pinch of sea salt if you like. This simple habit hydrates your body, softens your blood, and helps your heart start the day smoothly. After 15 to 20 minutes, your favorite drink will still be waiting. But now, it will do less harm, and you'll feel better because of it. This is what we call wisdom in action. The power to keep what brings you comfort, while protecting what keeps you alive. We've talked about coffee. But now it's time to address something even subtler. a habit that feels like nothing, but speaks volumes to your heart and your blood vessels. It's not about what you do, but what you postpone. And it often starts before your feet even touch the floor. Let's dive into number 4. 4. Ignoring the urge to urinate upon waking. It's a habit most of us fall into without even thinking. You wake up in the early morning, still a little groggy. You feel the urge to go to the bathroom. But instead of getting up, you lie there a little longer. Maybe the bed is warm. Maybe you just don't want to move yet. It seems like no big deal. You've done it for years. But this seemingly innocent decision, just a few more minutes in bed, can quietly put your cardiovascular system under unnecessary stress. Here's what's really happening. When you delay urination after waking, your bladder expands beyond comfort. That physical stretch puts pressure on surrounding organs and triggers a sharp rise in blood pressure. It's a reflex response. Your body interprets this buildup as stress and starts to react accordingly. And for older adults, especially those already dealing with high blood pressure or heart conditions, this sudden surge can be dangerous. Not immediately, perhaps, but over time, repeating this pattern can strain your heart and vessels more than you realize. Ignoring the morning urge regularly can also weaken your bladder muscles, raise your risk for urinary tract infections, and, most critically, raise the likelihood of a cardiovascular event, especially when your system is at its most vulnerable, right after sleep. The bladder and heart are more connected than most people realize. When one is under strain, the other feels it. And for those in their 60s and 70s, that internal pressure can quietly become the tipping point that triggers a stroke or heart episode. The fix. It's simple. Respect the signal. As soon as you wake, even before reaching for your slippers, answer your body's request. Go to the bathroom without delay. Letting your body do what it was built to do can reduce unnecessary stress and start your day with a message of self-care and awareness. It's more than comfort. It's a form of prevention. A message to your heart that says, "You don't have to fight this morning, I'm listening." And when you begin your day with that kind of attention, it sets a tone. A tone of calm, of care, of respecting your own needs. And this tone carries forward into the hours ahead. But we're not done yet. There's one last habit we need to talk about. One that's often mistaken for strength or energy. But for older adults, it might just be the most physically risky decision of the entire morning. Let's talk about something that seems harmless, almost empowering, even. For many older Americans, getting out of bed quickly in the morning is seen as a sign of vitality. I can still move fast, they think, feeling proud of that quick transition from lying down to standing. But here's what most people over 65 don't realize. That exact movement, jumping up without pause, can quietly become one of the most dangerous moments of the entire day. Why? Because during the night, your body slows down. Your heart rate decreases, your blood pressure drops, and circulation adjusts to a restful horizontal state. When you open your eyes, your body needs time to reverse those changes and shift gears. But when you rise abruptly, you skip that critical adjustment. Your body has no time to prepare. Blood flow to your brain can suddenly drop. This condition, known as orthostatic hypotension, is more common than people think, especially in older adults. And it's not just about feeling a little dizzy. For many, it can cause fainting, falls, and in the worst cases, strokes or head trauma due to sudden shifts in blood pressure and oxygen levels. This is serious. One small rush to the bathroom or kitchen can trigger a chain reaction that changes everything. A fall at home doesn't just leave bruises. For seniors, it often leads to broken hips, hospital stays, long rehab periods, and in some cases, a permanent loss of independence. Just ask Mr. Donaldson, 78, from Ohio, who stood up quickly one morning, blacked out, and fractured his pelvis. His recovery took months. And his confidence? It's never fully returned. But here's the truth few people talk about. These aren't just physical consequences. There's an emotional toll too. Fear sets in. People become hesitant. They begin doubting their bodies. That doubt leads to inactivity. And inactivity creates new risks. But you can change this story. You don't have to give up control. Just shift how you define it. Strength is not about moving fast. It's about moving smart. A safer morning routine starts with intention. When you wake, take a few deep breaths before sitting up. Allow your body to catch up. Then place your feet on the floor and remain seated for 30 seconds. Let your system stabilize. Then rise. That 60-second pause might be the most protective minute of your day. It's a quiet act of strength, one that says, I respect my body, and I'm giving it the support it needs. Because getting older isn't about clinging to speed, it's about honoring rhythm. Knowing when to pause, when to breathe, when to slow down, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. And speaking of wisdom, there's one final truth to uncover, one that ties all these morning choices together. Because while strokes often seem like they strike out of nowhere, the real story is written in the routines we repeat. Let's close with that thought. Here's something we don't say enough. Your mornings still matter. In fact, they may matter more now than ever before. Stroke is often talked about as something that happens suddenly, without any warning. And yes, when it strikes, it does feel sudden. But the quiet truth is this: many strokes are built silently, over months or even years. They form in the details, in routines repeated without reflection, in stress that's never calmed, in signs that go ignored. They aren't just a result of age, they're the result of repetition, of what we do, or don't do, each morning. Waking up and skipping breakfast? Not harmless. Checking your phone before taking a deep breath? Not harmless. Having coffee before water? Delaying a bathroom trip? Jumping out of bed like you're still 30? None of it is trivial. Each of these actions places tiny demands on a system that deserves gentleness. And over time, those demands can wear it down. Sometimes the effect is subtle: more fatigue, less focus, lower resilience. But sometimes the effect is catastrophic: a stroke that steals your ability to speak, a fall that ends your independence, a moment that begins like any other and ends with everything changed. But here's where the story can shift. If small habits can build risk, then small changes can build protection. You hold the power, today, tomorrow, every morning, to choose better, to pause before you rise, to hydrate, to nourish your heart and brain, to bring stillness where there was once only speed. It doesn't take extreme measures. You don't need 10 pills or fancy routines. You need one thing: respect. For the body that carried you to this point. For the mind that still has stories to tell. For the heart that still has places to go. Each morning, your body speaks. Will you listen? Let your day begin with presence, not pressure. With calm, not chaos. Let your glass of water, your breath, your quiet steps become your daily strength. Because longevity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing small things with greater care. Your mornings are your map. Protect them, and you protect everything that follows. So tomorrow, when the light hits your face and your eyes begin to open, don't rush. Don't reach for the screen. Don't dismiss the moment. Pause. Breathe. And remember, this is not just another morning, it's another chance. A gift. Let's make it count. Now I want to hear from you. What insight from today's message are you taking with you? What will you apply starting tomorrow? Share in the comments. I read every one. We're in this together. If this video helped you, press like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs it. Your support makes it possible for us to keep producing honest, helpful content made for you. Thank you for watching, and here's to mornings that begin with care, and days that follow with strength.